Peace to the God and the goddesses, man. About to do a quick little live stream. Shout out to the KJXCHSR supporters for sending in those donations. Y'all already know who y'all are. Shout out to the cash at supporters. It's gonna be a quick little live stream. We a couple days out for the Fugazi New Year. I mean, these lunar holidays is heavy in this mud. Heavy in this mud. We'll be talking about the residents of hell. Now, you know, we've been trained, programmed, same-ish, that hell is this place you burn forever, and basically if you be bad, you go to hell. You do bad things, you lie to people, cheat, steal. Y'all know the regular program they told us, man. You do all these bad things, you be negative, and you go to hell. The place where you just sit in some pit and you just burn for eternity, son. You just sitting in this flaming pit, burning, burning, and burning, son. You know what I mean? Which is like a direct contradiction of what these people say. You know, you live and you die and then that's it. They say when you die, that's it. It ain't nothing else happening after death. Death is the final destination, son. After you die, it's lights out and that's it. According to them. But these same people say when you die, you're going to go to some place called hell if you're bad. Cheat, lying, stealing. Basically, if you was an evil or bad mother dutter. You're going to be in this pit and you just going to be burning forever, son. But you're supposed to be dead. You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway. And on the other hand, you know, if you be good, treat people good, do good things, you know what I mean? They say you will go to heaven. They ain't say nothing about living a life of truth. They say if you just be good, if you be good, you will go to heaven. Be a good boy, a good girl, a good man, a good woman, a good human, a good woman. You know what I mean? The human animals. The creature people. You be good. You good money, man. You save, bruh. You save, gal. You good. Worry about it. Your name is written in the book of lambs, the book of sacrifice. You good. We're gonna make it to heaven, man. We're gonna be up there in the clouds like Care Bears staring at each other, son. Care Bears stare. You know what I mean? You're gonna be eating honey and drinking milk and just running around in fluffy land. A fluff here and a fluff there. Everywhere a fluff. Everything is all fluffy. Up in the clouds. You know what I mean? You're going to be sitting around the angels, creature people. These chimeras. Wings coming out of their back. You want to be good so you can go to heaven and get your wings. So you can fly around clouds all day. Wear robes and eat berries and honey and drink milk. Yeah, I mean, we've been given all of these programs of what happens or who goes to hell and who goes to heaven. When the reality is, the people that are in hell are good and bad. Good people and bad people are the ones who are in hell. You know what I mean? Hell is a dimension that's made up of polarities. Negative and positive. They only wanted us to see so-called bad people going to hell and the good people making it out of hell. When the reality is, hell is heavily populated by good and bad people. You know what I mean? That's the reality. Those people who want to be over positive, I'm all about positive energy. I'm all about good vibes. I ain't all with the drama. I meditate all the time. I pray all the time. I listen to water drops splashing in surround sound with frankincense and myrrh in the earth. Drinking my mint tea. You know what I mean? Listening to waterfalls and birds chirping. Every now and then I go over there and talk to the trees because I'm good. So I'm gonna make it to heaven. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make it to heaven. I'm good. I'm all about the positive energy. I'm being good. I'm all about the negative energy. I turn up. I'm about that life. I keep it true. I'm fired up. I bust my gun. I'm about it. The negative energy, son. I'm all about that, man. Man, I ain't all about eating healthy, man. Pass that blunt. Give me that chicken. We gonna die anyway. You know what I mean? Both two personalities being simulated by residents of hell. People who are in hell, son. You know what I mean? The good and the bad make it to hell, son. The ones who make it out of hell is the ones who's real. The ones who is able to see the good and the bad for what it is. A bunch of polarities that's ruling people's lives. You know what I mean? Operating under the illusion that if they say good morning to people, they're good. Operating under the illusion that if you help an old lady across the street, you're good. Hell is a place that's made up of polarities. Positive and negative. Those who would never make it out of hell are those who are completely bitmapped around negative and positive, meaning your clones. Your clones will never make it out of hell because they are the residents of hell. Hell needs to be screened and identified for what it really is. And you will see that it got nothing to do with the story that they told you about burning forever. You know what I mean? Bad people go to hell. People who sin go to hell. Sin is the moon. You know what I mean? Go, you gotta go into the depths of what sin is. Sin is the moon. We could take it deeper. What is the moon? An artificial dimension. It's a dimension where spirits live. You know what I mean? It's a dimension where spirits live for eternity. Eternity not meaning how they programmed you to see eternity as in forever, forever, ever, ever. As in regards to always being around. That's how they broke down eternity for us. Always being around. Now, eternity means, in this sense, that they will always be in the illusion until they are no longer in existence. That's what eternity would mean when they talking about these creatures, these spirits being in a realm known as hell. You know what I mean? Meaning that they would be on this moon forever. They would be on this moon forever. And it don't even matter if they go to another so-called planet that would be a moon. Because as I stated before, it don't matter what dimension these creatures go to. They will always be vibrating on a clone frequency, man. They will, in other words, they would only be able to go into artificial realms. You know what I'm saying? Because the realm of the real is made up of completely different energy. Or real energy. Hold on. The realm of the real is made up of completely different energy. Meaning that energy is real. Make sure that I'm coming in clear. Meaning that dimension is real. You ain't gonna have no spirits in the realm of the real. It don't matter how many freaking rituals they do, how much manipulation they could attempt to do, son. They would never exist in the realm of the real. You know what I mean? The eternity means that they will always be in a rotation. The energy will constantly be turning, etern. The energy of their spirit will constantly be in a reincarnation cycle or a Ouroboros until it's no longer replenishable, and that will be determined by the souls stop investing energy in spiritual slavitude. You know what I mean? They will always be in the loop operating under the illusion that they are moving forward. Because if you going in a loop, you know what I mean? And the loop is basically, and it basically, you die before a full loop take place. Not like this fake loop with this year. You see how we live long enough to see the year's loop. Meaning that, say you born today. What's today's date? December 30th. Say you born December 30th. Well, I gotta extend it because you live born December 30th, 2019, and December 30th next year, 2020. You're only gonna be 1 year old, so you ain't really gonna know. But you're living. Let's say you 10 years old, and you seeing how all these things happen throughout the year. A year goes by, you're 11 years old, and you're seeing the same things happen again throughout the year. Christmas, Thanksgiving, all these holidays, birthdays, New Year's Eve, Martin Luther King Day, Black History Month. You seeing how all these things is looping. You seeing the loop. You know what I'm saying? Because you're living throughout the loop. So you could predict what's going to happen next year. You could predict that next year on December 25th is going to be a Christmas. How? Because I'm in a loop. They telling me it's a new year, but it's the same ish that's taking place. So we're in the loop. You know what I'm saying? But if you was able to live out for an entire zodiac constellation loop, 26,000 years, let's say 26,000 years per zodiac calendar. Let's say you was able to live out for that whole loop, 26,000 times 12. You know what I mean? Let's just say it's 26,000 years for one full zodiac beginning to end cycle. So now you're going through all these loops of the zodiacs. So the same way how you would be able to see birthdays, Christmas, New Year's. Let me make sure I'm by the right address. Birthdays, Christmas, New Year's. Hold on for a second. Birthday, Christmas, New Year's, you know what I mean? Thanksgiving. You see all these so-called holidays. You see all these calendar markers. Like certain parts of the planet, they got landmarks to let you know where you at. They got certain calendar markers to let you know where those in the know, let them know where they at. You know what I mean? It's like a navigational pinpoint, son. So you imagine you living out to see all the zodiac's calendar. So it's like you go through one zodiac, it might be new to you. Then you go through one zodiac calendar, the whole entire 12 things might be new to you. But then you start seeing it happening again. You be like, yo, this happened last zodiac calendar. What the hell is going on? So then you live out to another one. You're like, yo, what the freak, son? Like, yo, this happened. Like, this already happened, man. Then you live out through a next zodiac calendar. You're like, yo, I'm in a freaking loop. 4 times in a month freaking row. Yo, this is a loop that we in, man. Hold on, where the hell is this building at, man? What's on here? You know what I mean? You be like, yo, I'm in a loop, man. You be like, things is looping, man. Like this, like we in a rotation, son. You know what I mean? So now the eternity would make more sense. Now you would see what the eternity is. It's like they try to make it seem like eternity is something that keeps on going, but the way how it's keep how it keeps on going is because it's looping. It's not really going, it's artificially going somewhere, which is the loop. But because it takes such a long duration for one loop to take place, you assume that new things is happening, son. You assume new things is happening, but you don't know that you caught in this Ouroboros, this big ass zodiac calendar loop, man. You know what I mean? You looping out this mud dutter, man. And that's hell. That's what hell is. Hell loops. Hell doesn't keep on going. It loops. It loops. Artificial depiction of moving forward. Then you see people looping. They operate under this theme that they are moving forward, man. But the reality is you're looping. You just can't remember. You don't remember your past lives. You assume that this life that you have right here is the first time you're on earth, or the first time you're in hell. You assume all this because you don't know what memory is. You know what I mean? You lost your way. You really assume that you was born, that this is the first time for everything, son. But you're seeing all of these examples right now in the shrunken time that we're in, son. With the 365-day calendar clock that we're in, that is a shrunken time that we're in. You know what I mean? You could see now that things loop. You could see it loop. Christmas just passed. New Year's Eve is Tuesday. New Year's Day is Wednesday. You see in the loop. Then it starts all over again. That's in hell. That's hell. You are in the eternal energy, constantly turning in a loop until the souls stop donating their energy to this spiritual ghost, which is giving it the power to loop. You know what I mean? Somebody had asked me about the zodiacs. I spoke about the zodiacs before, man. But I don't know if I titled the video. I might have to check and see if I titled the video, son. You know what I mean? But the people, you got people that live their life based on zodiacs. They clones. They clones. Because the reality is the zodiacs is like a celestial control panel to control spirits. You see how you got like a keyboard that control certain commands in the computer? You know what I'm saying? But look at the celestial bodies that make up the zodiacs as a highly advanced communication control panel that the gods use to control spirits. When I'm talking about spirits, I'm talking about all this spiritual stuff. All this spirit stuff. The trees, the birds, the damn the fish, the grass, the ants, the crickets, the people, the monkeys, the giraffe, the elephants, the lions, the snakes, the tigers, the lions, the bears. Oh my. You know what I mean? It's a control panel to control all spiritual life. All spiritual life is being controlled by the zodiacs because it is a advanced control panel, son. It's like a highly sophisticated control digital hub to control the creatures that creepeth and fly upon, swimmeth upon the land, slither upon the land, son. Sludge upon the land. It controls it all. You know what I mean? Hell. The control panel to control hell, son. You know what I mean? So you look, they talking about people burning. Take the burning out. You know what I mean? Take the burning out. They talking about spirits. They ain't even talking about no physical people. They talking about damn spirits in a pit. Now you gotta know that a pit, because this is Masonic talk that they doing, son. Man, you see these people start speaking in like Like they used to have this thing. They still do it now. They talk Ebonics. When you hear people like certain calling people talking Ebonics, man, that's Masonic language, man. You know what I mean? It's just a different version because they speak in symbolism. They use symbols to describe certain things, but it's not like the person is actually that thing, son. You know what I mean? It's symbolism, Ebonics, man. When you hear them talking about pits, you know what I'm saying? That's all symbolism. It's not like literally a people in a bunch of pit, some big ass hole in the ground, and you just got a whole bunch of people in there, and a whole bunch of spirits in there, and they burning. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta ultimately identify what a pit is. You know what I mean? A pit is a quarantine area. A pit is an area that's quarantined that is meant to keep those that's in the pit in the pit. You know what I mean? It's a quarantine area, son. It's meant to keep you in the pit. So if you start identifying what a pit is, you start seeing that Earth is a pit. Not in regards to the shape or the size, in regards to the energy. It's meant to keep people in the pit energy, which is positive and negative. Oh, you being bad one day, you be good one day, everything is good. It's meant to keep you in the emotional vibration, the pit, to keep you in hell. Positive and negative exists in hell, man. That's artificial energy, man. You sitting here bouncing around. Oh, one day you bad, one day you good, one day you mad, one day you happy, and you being ruled by the positive and negative energy, the behaviorism. You being ruled by that energy, just like the damn spirits is being ruled by the zodiacs. Well, you know, Mercury is in Aquarius today, and I'm over here reading these horoscopes, horror moon. I'm over here reading these horoscopes, and it's telling me that I should play these numbers today. I should play 12, 14, 16, and I should wear green. I should skip breakfast and eat a salad for lunch. Green is the color for me today. You're being programmed, you're being controlled by the control panel. And you operating under this illusion that you're somehow advancing in life, when all you're doing is eterning. You know what I mean? Your energy is constantly turning. Eternity. Eternal. You're constantly turning. But you can't see yourself turning because they programmed you to see turning as only someone that's spinning around. If I'm not physically spinning in a 360, I ain't turning. What the hell are you talking about turning? But you don't know that turn doesn't ultimately mean to spin in a rotation. Turn can also mean to morph. When things turn, they shape shift, they morph. You see all the time in the damn horror movies, oh, this damn vampire turned into a bat. Did the vampire did a 360? Or did he just say, I want to suck your blood? And he had to pull out his damn cape and poof, smoke, and he just turned, he morphed into a freaking bat. You know what I mean? So when they talking about you turning, it's talking about your energy is being changed. Your solar energy is constantly being changed into a positive and negative polarity, son. Now you can't see outside the box. Now you got the mind on. The mind operate off of positive and negative. Now you got a mind over your etheric think tank, and you walking around here like a spirit. Well, you know, I'm going to be good today, man, because, you know, I'm trying to make it to heaven. I want to be right next to the Lord Jesus Christ. Hold on for a second. Base anywhere on the client, I want to be right next to the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm being good. I'm going to church. You know what I mean? I'm being church for the New Year's. I'm gonna bring the New Year's in church, even though everybody in damn church robbing everybody, scheming on the wives, scheming on the husbands, scheming on the pockets. You know what I'm saying? They providing a service, man. You don't have what it takes to connect to the real God. So therefore, they have to fill that void with a service, which is what church is. They provide a service of operating under this illusion that you are somehow connecting to the real God, when the reality is you would never connect to the real God, because you don't know that you are the real God, and you don't even you broke the connection with yourself the day you called yourself a black man. The day you called yourself a black man and a black woman, you lost the connection with who you really are, which is the soul fused to the body. You don't even identify yourself as the energy of beyond, that ether energy. You identify yourself as a physical being. So therefore, you are now being manipulated by positive and negative, son. And that's not even up for debate. Go into these people's lives and you will see. Go into their lives. As I stated before, step to these people and ask them, like, yo, I want to ask you a serious question, man. Let's be for real. All jokes aside, I want to ask you a serious question, and I want you to be absolutely honest when I ask you this question. And ask them, can you see yourself existing outside of a positive and negative reality? Just ask them that. Ask them, can they see themselves living outside of good and bad, positive and negative? Ask them to be honest. I guarantee you they would say no. They would say no. And when they say no, now you will see the reason why they put up such a fight to make it seem what you talking about don't make no sense. It just shows you why they putting up the fight. Because the reality is they don't exist in the realm of the real, because they clones. They are here to be manipulated by zodiac calendars. They up in the horoscopes. You know what I mean? They all into the spiritual stuff, son. Because they ghosts. They ghost people living on a ghost planet, living in a ghost universe. You know what I mean? Which is hell. Hell. They are bound to hell forever. The chains. Chains symbolizes the vibration. When you hear about people talking about they talking about the devil will be chained to the pits for 1,000 years. That's not literally 1,000 years. That's a binary code. It's a binary code of 1000. Binary code. Showing you that their vibration is locked in the 000. It's locked in the rotation. It's not the devil literally being chained into some pit for 1,000 earth years. Nah, bruh. That is a binary code, a vibration that the clones would be locked in. Meaning, in other words, the 1 would be the positive and the 0 would be the negative. And they just keep going in the 0.0.0.0.0 point. Meaning that they would try to be good, and then ultimately they would see that they would end up in the same place. So they just like, you know what? F it. I'm going to just go full in with embracing the ego. And even when these positive people talk about they all about positive, that's also being egotistical, because we have been programmed to see the ego as something bad. Every time the ego is displayed or brought up or presented to one of us, it always got to be defined as something that's bad, evil, selfish, jealous. But the reality is the ego operates off of both polarities. It operates off of positive and negative. So when you hear these people talk about they all positive, they egotistical, man. That is egotistical, man. The ego operate off of both polarities, man. One of the biggest games they played on a Garvey's is to make them assume that the ego is ultimately only bad. But the ego is good too. The ego is good and bad. It's positive and negative. Jesus Christ and the devil is all different components of the ego. You know what I mean? You got one that's beating somebody's ass. Oh, you mad egotistical. Then you got another one, turn the other cheek. I want to show that I'm the better guy. I want to show I'm the bigger man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to indulge myself in that because I'm bigger than you. Ain't that the ego? Yo, bro. It's the ego they playing with y'all, man. Both polarities, man. You know what I mean? But if the Gar race was to remember these zodiac calendar days, these landmarks they have in these zodiacs, if they was to remember that, then they would see that this ain't nothing but a freaking rerun they're caught up in. You know what I mean? This ain't nothing but a rerun, a long rerun that they're caught up in. We used to teach our offsprings about the past only because we didn't want them to repeat it. Because we ultimately knew that where we was caught up in a loop. We knew we was caught up in a loop, son. This is the loop, the Ouroboros realm, son. We're caught up in the loop. And you could see, as I stated before, you could see examples of the loop being taken place right now. New Year's Eve is right around the corner. Didn't they have one of those last year? Didn't they have one of those the year before? And the year before that? 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 They're going to have one next year, New Year's. So, you're in the loop. You're in the loop. Fires? Yeah. You know what I mean? You're in the loop. Hold on for a second. Yeah, come on. Mm-hmm.
How you doing today?
Can't complain. Yeah. Peace to the chat. Peace to the chat. You going to Voorhees?
Talking to me?
Yeah, you going to Voorhees?
I think so. You don't have no address?
Yeah, I got the address. Just making sure. Fayez, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right, it's
alright.
my name. You have card, you give them to me after? This way I call you. Thank you.
Yeah. Positive and the negative, bruh. Positive and the negative. The consciousness of the ego. Your brain has been hacked with a mind of the ego. I mean, positive and negative polarities. So just know that when you hear these people talking about turn, this is something that I mentioned before, man, that the earth, they want people to see the earth as this physical object that's like literally turning, but the earth is morphing. You know what I mean? It's morphing. It's shape shifting. Its appearance, its vibration is constantly morphing. You know what I mean? It's morphing in a loop. It's not morphing to like evolve. Because you gotta know, as I stated before, what we could do naturally, the humans, all these clones do artificially, son. So their description of evolving is looping. You know what I mean? It's an artificial representation of evolving. You know what I mean? From the spirit world, going into all these physical, spiritual bodies, these melanated spiritual creature bodies they go into, and then they get to the grand master prize, which is the human or the woman. And then it's right back all over again. You know what I mean? Right back all over again. So you gotta know that that turn doesn't necessarily mean something that's physically rotating. You know, just like somebody, you have somebody turn on you. They be like, oh, this person turned on me, yo. Now, did that person literally turn on you? Or did it have to do with their energy? The energy was once vibrating in a certain manner, and now that energy has shifted, and now they have, you describe that as that person turning on you, betraying you, whatever. You know what I mean? So the person didn't literally spin around. They energetically morph. They morphed. They energy morphed. They morphed into the polarities, man. You know what I mean? Hold on for a second. Eternity, man, is to morph into polarities, man. I just think keep showing the same technology, man. You know what I mean? Eternity, to morph into polarities. And they created a lot of different consciousness with the positive and negative polarities. So look at how many different consciousness. I'll give you practical examples of how they created so many different consciousness. You know what I mean? But they needed to create the storage unit of a consciousness, which is the mind. You know what I mean? They had to achieve that. But I would give you an example of how they created so many different consciousness. When you look at thugs, when you look at barbers, when you look at drivers, aviators, plumbers, electricians, carpenters, arsenal, a bridge builder. You know what I'm saying? Is those are like different examples of how they created all these different consciousness. You're talking about Spider-Man, Batman, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're looking at all these different consciousness that was created by polarities. How do you know this? If you go into all of those consciousness that I just mentioned, You know what I mean? A damn train driver, a track worker. This guy doing something. A track worker. You know what I'm saying? A archaeologist, a physiologist, a psychologist, a teacher, a scholar. You know what I mean? An employee when you work at Dunkin' Donuts, bagels. You know what I mean? H&R Block. Look at the grocery store. What's the person wait for, man? Like me. You know what I mean? A chef, a sculptor, a photographer, a director. You know what I mean? A computer technician, a computer programmer, a computer repair specialist, a Verizon specialist, AT&T specialist, a cell phone distributor. You know what I'm saying? A bank teller. You know what I'm saying? When you're looking at all these different titles or more, a Christian, a Israelite, a Muslim. When you're looking at all these different names, you're looking at different consciousness that was created by way of the positive and negative polarity, son. How do you notice? Because they all got a good and a bad perception of that entire consciousness. In other words, that entire consciousness operates off of positive and negative, son. And you become trapped in the consciousness when you identify yourself as the title, as the consciousness, as the theme. You become trapped in it. You know what I mean? A black man, a black woman, that's a consciousness. You know what I mean? Notice that how all black people who call themselves black people act the same as black people. They trapped in the consciousness, man. So you're looking at different examples of how they created consciousness by way of the polarities. And those are different egos. Those are different egos. You know what I mean? Those are different egos that was created. Whether you spiritual, whether you one with nature. You know what I mean? Those are all artificial consciousness. You're trapped in the polarities, man. You're trapped in the polarities, man. You're trapped in the eternal. Your energy has morphed. It has turned. You know what I mean? You morphed. It turned. Shape shift. Earth is morphing around the sun. Just to speak the language when I say around the sun. Earth is morphing around the sun. It's not spinning around the sun. It is morphing around the sun. Morph, to turn. You know what I mean? But because, you know, certain members of the God race, they caught up in the polarities, in the eternal, they are in the pit of hell. You know what I mean? Because souls burn forever. Now those that's vibrating on that etheric frequency, that's the burning forever. Future. For future. You know what I mean? Beyond. You constantly raising the vibe, man. When you stop raising the vibe, that's when the soul begins to die. And before you know it, they in the damn lunar dimension, trapped. Can't even, they all they see is darkness. The realm of the darkness. You know what I mean? Burnt out. Burnt out souls, man. Burnt out souls. Wasted their lifespan being exhausted by polarities. Because when a soul occupies the positive and negative polarity, ultimately, I'm supposed to turn right here. When the soul occupies the negative and positive polarity, ultimately, they are being exhausted. Those polarities are absorbing your energy. Because the electricity is a spirit. It's a spirit. It's a parasite, a parasitic energy, artificial. And it needs energy to exist. So when you place yourself in the positive and negative, oh, I'm going to be all good, I'm all about good vibes, nature, I love this, I love you, it's all about love, we got raised to love, hug my brother, hug my sister, love, love, love. You are giving your energy to that polarity, man. You're giving your energy to that spirit. You can't see the spirit, but it's there. The same way how you got these negative people, son, who always want to be negative, son. They constantly giving their energy to that spirit. And you got those who bounce from negative to positive. They being fed off by the spirit. You know what I mean? You're constantly donating your energy. You don't even understand how things is being played out in this realm. Because you're locked in. You don't have access to other realms. So you can't make no kind of comparison. You think this is the only plane that exists. In this big, speaking the language, spherical ball that we're in. You assume that this is the only realm? Are you freaking crazy, son? You know how many realms is in this planet, son? There is not one planet out there that only has one realm. That's an illusion, man. It's corridors in this mother dutter, man. There is not only one dimension. The word dimension means multi. That word dimension means multi. Di means two. Di two. You know what I mean? That word dimension means multi. So how in the hell would you assume that this realm that we're in is the only dimension that's here? Man, please, man. This is like one step on a staircase of 1,000 stairs. You know what I mean? This is like one freaking step on a staircase that has 1,000 stairs in it, son. So when you only see this reality, this fake reality, but I'm speaking the language. When you only see this reality as the ultimate reality, son. Yo, man, you lost, man. You in the pits. You in the pit of hell, son. There's a ceiling over your damn speak the language mental helmet. You know what I mean? There's a freaking ceiling on your mental helmet. Your thoughts cannot go beyond this realm. Even if you look at something outside the realm, like space, you will only be able to identify space with a ceiling over your mental helmet perception. That's all you would have. It don't matter if you're looking at something out there. You would only be able to identify it with the restrictions of you being chained in this realm. Is the example that I gave when you see people looking at northern lights. They like, wow, look at the northern lights. They look beautiful. Those northern lights. Whoa, look at those flashing lights. I don't really know what it is, but they say it's the northern lights. So, you know, we're taking a plane and we're going over here to see the northern lights. That's not northern lights. That's a portal that you're looking at, man. But it looks all fuzzy wuzzy to you because you're looking at static. To you, it looks like static. That's what static looks like to people who are locked in speaking the language, third dimension. When you're locked in a third dimension, you will always see things on a third dimensional frequency, no matter where you go. I'll give you a practical example. You could have somebody that lived in the projects all day damn life. Roaches in the cereal, hangers on the television, aluminum foil. You know what I mean? Got the stove open to heat the apartment. Fly traps with 1,000 flies on it. Ain't changing the mother dutter. You know what I mean? The shower is broken. They gotta tie a sock around the shower so the damn water won't be splashing all outside the shower. Their whole mentality is just in a ghetto mentality, son. They eat terrible food. They have lame conversation. You know what I mean? Now, if this person was to happen to win the lottery for like $20 million and was to buy a brand new house just got built, a nice crib, marble floors, they got fish tanks in a wall. It's like everything look mad beautiful. The kitchen is like a damn restaurant, son. They got the stove where it don't have the damn silver things in it. You know what I mean? The stove is like this marble stove. You just put the table goes around the kitchen, son. You know, chandeliers in the living room. Everything look mad luxurious, son. Now, when that person goes into that new dimension, they will be having that same project perception in that dimension. They won't clean. They'll be driving their Mercedes-Benz 50 miles an hour over speed bumps, swerving in the street all crazy. They won't get oil change. They won't maintenance the car. You know what I mean? You get a car a week and it start looking all fuzzucked up. Stains all on the wall in a brand new house. The toilet bowl clogged up. Clothes all on the floor. Barbecue stains on the damn couch. You know what I mean? You got A1 barbecue sauce on the freaking remote controller for the damn television. Fingerprints all on the television. You know what I mean? The mirror is foggy and dirty as hell. You know, it's because they got that same vibration. So it doesn't matter what realm they go into or what realm they look at. They will always decipher it with a third dimensional perception. So when they're looking at what they telling you is the northern lights, they don't realistically know that doesn't really look like that. It looks like that to them because that is all their brain or their mind is allowing them to process, because they cannot go beyond the third dimension to actually see what it really looks like. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing when you're looking at all this stuff in this realm. You ain't supposed to be judging nothing in this realm how it appears to be. You know what I mean? You got to be able to see the bigger picture. It'll be like you looking at a movie and you see 2 minutes of the movie and then you leave and then you having a conversation about the movie, but you ain't see the whole movie. So all you're doing is assuming. You just assuming this is what the movie is about. People looking at you like, man, what are you talking about, man? I wasn't even in the movie. You know what I mean? You have an incomplete perception because your ability to capture the entire picture is limited. You really think that's a tree that you're looking at, sir? Any spiritual people talking about going outside talking to the tree. Really? If you knew what that really was, you would not be talking to that joint, son. You would know there ain't no more freaking tree, son. Like I stated before, man, you really think that's a tree, son? Look at that, man. You really think that's a tree, son? Man, that's planetary nerves you're looking at, son. Planetary nerves that you're looking at. That ain't no freaking tree. You know what I mean? But we play along. But that's why I stated before, in order for you to be able to identify the obvious, you got to think outside the box. You got to go outside the box. The box is made up of positive and negative, good and bad. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to go beyond. And when you start tapping into other realms, now you start seeing why certain realms is orchestrated the way they are. Now you start seeing that they doing it only to keep you focusing on that specific realm. Because when you have access and you just see what other realms look like and how it moves, you'll be like, God damn. Like, what the hell? You know what I mean? It's revelations. Revelations ain't the end of days, man. Like this illusion they got you thinking that of revelations. You know what I mean? Revelations got to do with things being revealed to you, son. And things are revealed to you for real when you are able to go beyond positive and negative, son. You know what I mean? You look at the word revelation, you see the word reveal. To reveal, something is revealing to you. You could the only truth can be revealed. When they talk about lies being revealed, it's meaning that you're seeing the reality of how the lie was being orchestrated. So the lie no longer has this hold on you, man. Revelations is not the end of days. Revelations would be, speaking the language, the beginning of you coming up outside the damn illusion. Understanding that the illusion is positive and negative. It is positive and negative polarities. Hell. You know what I mean? Where people are limited. These spiritual people, these black people, these Christian people, these people from, talking about, they all from Africa, all this past stuff, worshiping pyramids, worshiping pharaohs, worshiping queens, worshiping the dynasties. Man, that's, bro, as I stated before, man, when they talking about all that stuff when we was so-called ruling in Africa, son, they talking about when we already fell and we was dealing with fragments of solar memory, son. We was dealing with fragments of solar memory. From the moment we began to start writing things down, that was a sign that we was forgetting. And you forget when you can't connect. Because if you could connect directly to the gods and the gods stream you this solar memory, then what the hell you gotta write anything down for, son? If you got access to the higher gods that's in higher realms and they streaming you solar memory, etheric memory is being streamed to you, and you know this, it's coming straight to the pineal gland and it's being assimilated throughout the conduits of the brain, and it goes into the consciousness, and you're like, whoa, okay, yo, I get it, man. Oh, that's what's up. Now you know what it is. Do you really need to write anything down? You don't need to write nothing down, son. You don't need to write a damn thing down, son. Because it's all being streamed. You have a connection, so now you know. And when you know, you ain't forgetting, man, because you can always access it with a thought. The solar memory, man. You can access it with a thought. But when we started writing all this stuff down on these tablets and the walls and all that stuff, that is a sign that we was developing amnesia. Because why would we need to write anything down if we are truly connected to the higher gods and they could just stream the stuff to us upon request? We wouldn't need to write nothing down, son. So when they talking about all these tablets and all this stuff that we need to be studying, but the hell with all that stuff, man. That's just reinstating the spell of amnesia. You got to keep reading, doing all this stuff to remember it. How about you just raise your vibration and connect to the gods so you would always know instead of believing? You know what I mean? Instead of freaking believing, why don't you go on the path to know? For real. You know what I mean? So when you see people looking at these northern lights, they looking at a portal that appears to be all fuzzy wuzzy. Like I gave the example again. Yo, and this is something that I know that they still got going on. But I don't got cable, but I know it's still, and I gave this example with the cable too, son. Even, matter of fact, when I was speaking about the Northern Lights video, I gave this example with the cable, son. Now, back in the days, I had cable, son. Before I linked up with Unc, and he hooked me up with that. Yo, they had this box. Ooh, yo, I don't even know. They used to call it a hot box, son. Yo, you used to get all the channels, son, for basic cable price. But that's another conversation. But this was back in the day, son. Maybe it had like basic cable. And it's like, I think that was like channel from like channel 2 to 13, son. The black box with the red digital dial, son. Those boxes was popping, son, back in the 90s. And Jones was official tissue. But they had these cable boxes, right? And you basically pay for service. You pay for channels. You know what I mean? So we used to get the basic cable, you get like channel 2 to 13, and then you get like minute upper channel, like you might get 32 or 48, you know what I'm saying, but you ain't getting the whole thing. So when you go to channel 14 and you look at the screen, everything looks all distorted. It's not distorted like you see in all the bubbles and you hear the it's not that kind of distortion, not that kind of static. It's a different kind of static where it's like you could see that the picture, like the picture is clear. You can see that the picture would be clear, but you got all this distortion in the picture that you can't really identify the image that you're looking at. That's because you don't have access to that channel. So when you're looking at the picture on the screen, it looks all distorted. You can't identify what program you're looking at, son. Now apply that same description to when these people is looking at what they claim is northern lights. In other words, you went outside, you're looking at something that's outside your mental processing capabilities. So it's being fed back to you with a distortion. But it doesn't really look like that. Because the reality is cable vision is not really distributing a signal out. The signal is coming out clear. You just don't have access to that cable vision channel because you didn't pay for the service. In other words, you didn't connect with them on that level, which would allow you to see the picture. So that's the same thing with the northern lights. When you look at people looking at the northern lights and it's looking all fuzzy wuzzy and like a damn cable picture that's out of a visible identifiable image, they don't have access because they didn't connect to that realm. They didn't connect to that realm because that is coming from a higher. Let's say let's say this is the third dimension that we're in. You know what I'm saying? A third dimension. Let's just say this is the third dimension that we're in. The northern lights could be coming in from the fifth dimension. You could be looking at that from the fifth, just hypothetically speaking. You know what I mean? But it could be the fourth. But it could be a shadow of a portal that's coming in from the fifth, but it's being rippled through the fourth, and you seeing the shadow in the third. The second dimension, you won't even see that. You was to go in that same spot in the second dimension, you won't see the northern lights. You come in the third dimension, you seeing it now. It's looking, the picture getting a little bit clearer. You know what I mean? You go in the fourth dimension, you be like, okay, I'm seeing something now. It's looking a little bit more clearer. You know what I mean? But then when you go in the fifth, you're like, oh, yeah, that was a portal site. You know what I mean? So it could be coming from the fifth dimension. You know what I mean? But it's the fourth. But it could be coming from the fifth, and it could be rippling through the fourth, and that could be the shadow that's being branded in the third. But if you got the third dimensional mindset, when you look at things that's from another realm, you're only going to identify it with a third dimensional mindset. For instance, carbon people are not black. Carbonated beings are not black. But because you got humans that see us how the third dimension programmed them to see us, every time they see us, they would identify us with a third dimensional output. They black people, or they the N-word, savages. They will always identify us as that because they cannot go beyond. Just like when we was building the pyramids and all this stuff, it was blowing their minds. Why was it blowing their minds? Because their minds are unable to imagine or tap in or pull in anything like that. Because if you have the ability to access higher realms and you already saw this stuff, when you bring it here, it wouldn't blow your mind. It wouldn't blow your mind. It'd be like you looking at walking down the street, looking at a freaking tree. Who gets their mind blown when they're looking at a tree? Nobody. You know what I mean? So when you're looking at certain things that we did that blew their mind, that's a clear example that these creatures are clones, because they don't have the ability to tap into realms that we could tap into, because they are normally from hell. They are from positive and negative, man. When you're looking at a lot of these structures that we built, that's beyond positive and negative. Even though we morphed it into a positive and negative, speaking the language, reality, those structures are beyond positive and negative. They come from a realm where there is no positive and negative, and it's dramatically dumbed down. As I stated before, the pyramids are not pyramids. They are oblong squares infused in the ground. They are oblong masons, man. Masons. You know what I mean? The pyramids are oblong squares. They are oblong squares. For those who don't know what an oblong square is, I'm going to show you what an oblong square is. That square look kind of effed up. Oh, let me get my my magnificent drawing on. Y'all know I be killing it with the drawing, bro. Don't be funny. You know what I mean? So you're looking at a square right here. But when you shift the square 33 degrees and a third, it now becomes an oblong square. You know what I mean? It now becomes an oblong square. So you see in the oblong square, the point is now sticking up. It's no longer like this, the shifted dimension. And that's something that they showed you in the movie Inception. When he was like, build a puzzle. He was like, give me a puzzle. What he said, that takes 2 minutes to make and 1 minute to crack. And she started giving him a puzzle. She was holding the book like this. She was holding it horizontal. So she was giving him a puzzle. And he was breaking the puzzle. But then she started drawing the circle. Most people think that it's probably the circle maze that got him caught up. Now, she shifted the perception. When she did this, she alternated the perception. You know what I'm saying? So it's still the same damn circle, but what she did was change the perception. So if they change the perception of your inception, you're trapped. You know what I mean? So this right here is laying horizontal. So now if you tilt it on its axis where it's partial horizontal and partial vertical, you now got the oblong square, and this right here would be the surface. This would be the floor. Well, let me get my magnificent drawing on real quick. I know this guy is a damn Nephilim that I'm drawing right now, but just imagine he's supposed to be a hell of a lot smaller than this. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be a hell of a lot smaller than this, but let's just say he's a Nephilim. You know what I mean? So now you're looking at the floor. So now you're seeing a piece. You're seeing 1/4, or what the Mason would say 1/3. You're seeing 1/3 of the puzzle. You're not seeing the whole picture. So you assume it's a pyramid that you're looking at. But you don't know it's a damn oblong square in the ground. The master builders. You know what I mean? You're looking at an oblong square. You know what I mean? But that was something that was brought in from a higher realm. But the third dimensional people will only see it as a pyramid, because you're not seeing it as the full picture. And you got hyper pyramids of 4 and 5, 6, 8 sides. Talk about the pyramids got 5 sides, 6 sides, 7 sides. That's the cube shape shifting. That is the cube that is shape shifting. The morph, the planet Earth, or this planet is morphing. The cube is constantly morphing, not physically turning. Turn in the sense of morph. Looping, reincarnations, looping in the Ouroboros. Loop. They are looping. Positive and negative. Hell. The spectrums of hell is positive and negative. The polarities of hell is positive and negative. You thinking you're doing something good, you thinking you're doing something bad, or you doing something bad, you're going to hell, you're doing something good, you're going to heaven. No. Good and bad people are in hell. Your good and your bad people are in hell, because those are the same energy, just different polarities. You know what I mean? Straight up. You got to be able to go beyond. You got to go beyond. If you can't raise your vibe and go beyond, you a clone. As I stated before, man, the message is only meant for the real. The message ain't meant for the whole humanity. The humans are creature people, man. It ain't meant for them. It is meant for us to wake up and realize, yo, man, yo, you got this artificial consciousness going on out here where these people assume that they are conscious because they read a book. Nah, you just downloaded a program. You could simulate consciousness. It makes you feel good. You know what I'm saying? That you read the book. That's the ego. You know what I mean? That's the ego, son. It makes you do it because it makes you feel good. It gives you a certain level of status that you actually feel comfortable when you look in the mirror. People coming up to you, they praising you. Oh, this guy read a lot of books. He got a lot of, now you go, this consciousness, this. Man, you just downloaded an artificial consciousness and you simulating it out here throughout the matrix. You know what I mean? As I stated before, that's artificial consciousness. As I stated before, what is it I called it? Artificial intelligence is to be smart. Artificial intelligence is to be smart. Check them out, guys, man. I spoke about that. Smart people simulate artificial intelligence, man. You know what I mean? The solar memory is the real intelligence, not this lunar memory, son. But when you really gain consciousness, I'm talking about for real, for real. We ain't talking about for fake. When you really gain consciousness, there's phases that you go through. You activate the pineal gland without doing no hacks. Without no elixirs, the ayahuasca, without none of these herbs, without none of that stuff. You know what I mean? You do it naturally. That's one phase that you pass. You come out the body naturally. I'm not talking about when you get up in these seances and all that. You got all these candles and these crests and these pentagrams and all that stuff. Doing these chants and these and these ahs and all of that. That's hacking. That's a form of hacking, son. You know what I mean? That's all in line with the zodiacs. You know what I'm saying? That's doing it hackingly. Doing it naturally, you activate the pineal gland and you think coming out the body. Now you're doing it naturally. You know what I mean? You come out the body, now you begin to start seeing revelations. Things are being revealed to you that you once didn't know existed. You was all in the church, all in the Bible, all in the Quran, all in this, all in that. Earth is what it was, nature, all this, all that. Now you're going behind the fourth wall. Peep that video out there talking about the fourth wall. Now you're going behind the fourth wall and you like, yo, how am I out? What, I'm outside of my body. I'm looking at my body right here. What the hell? I thought I was a black man. I thought I was a black man. I thought I was a black woman. How is this even possible? Am I dreaming? What is happening right here? It's being revealed to you, man. Reality is being revealed. So that when you look at these carbon men and carbon women out here talking about they are black men or they are black women, you know exactly what dimension they are occupying. You know exactly what dimension they occupy because why? You went beyond this physical realm. And you retain the memory. You retain the memory. So when you come back into this dimension now, you could now look at these people who claim that they're black people. You could actually see them for what it is. Now you just sit and you can look and you can see the spell that they are under. Now you move like a wise man in silence or a wise woman in silence. Because now you are identifying the obvious is that these people are lying and they're sick. They're lost. You're looking at lost souls in real time. Now I'm talking about those damn burning pits. You're looking at the lost souls in real time. You know what I mean? You got access to other realms, or you got access to the damn memory bank, and you can literally remote view anybody's life that you want to. You can remote view anybody's life that you want to, because wherever anybody goes, there's always energy. Always energy, son. Wherever anybody goes is always energy. So you can use that energy that surrounds anybody wherever they go and create a portal with that energy. And you can literally look into that time space that that individual is living in. So you can find out anything about anybody. You don't have to read a book. You can literally open up a portal where they are and they won't see you, because the portal could be opened up on a higher realm. You accessing a higher realm, you're streaming an opening through that dimension on a higher realm, and they won't pick it up. The only thing they might pick up is their ears ringing, which is giving you a sign that the change of the energy is taking place. But they're being looked at. You're being watched. You don't necessarily have to fuse your consciousness in that physical person's consciousness. You know what I mean? You could open up a portal that they can't see because they vibrating too low. And you could literally watch these so-called black people who claim that they are all for black people. And you could look and see how they move when the cameras ain't rolling. You could hear the conversations that they have on the phone, or the conversations that they have in their heads. You know, when they talking to themselves, those are vibrations that's coming up out of their satellite known as their damn head. You could pick up all of that, and you could see these demons for what they are. You know what I mean? But you have access to all of that only when you get access to higher realms, and there is no hacking that. You know what I mean? There is no hacking that. And then you begin to start seeing things beyond emotions. You start seeing revelations. In order for you to experience revelations, you got to be able to go beyond positive and negative. If you can't go beyond positive and negative, you will always be revolving. You will always be morphing, son. Always be morphing. You will always be being caught up in racism. Oh, they see how they did the little boy like that? He had the little coolest monkey in the jungle sweater on. How they gonna play little man? Like little man, look at his damn mom. How she move? How she gonna be doing all that to little man? You not getting caught up in the emotions. Green playing this, what they call it, the heart chakra, son. Playing on your emotions, man. You know what I mean? They flip a switch, make harp happen. New Orleans is underwater. Damn, how in the hell? You looking at it on the news, seeing all the so-called black people on top of their roof waving their white tees. Please come save me. We're like, damn, how they gonna do black people like that, man? How they doing us like that, man? How about you get up off your ass and come together with your brother and sister for real, man? You know what I mean? How about you build that solar force field that cannot be penetrated? Just like the corona of the freaking sun in space. Ain't nobody penetrating that force field, that solar field. You know what I mean? Y'all don't want to build a solar field on Earth. You know what I mean? You getting caught up in the positive and the negative, son. Sandra Bland got hung. God damn, son. Police brutality. Trayvon. How Zimmerman out here talking all this trash after he splashed Trayvon? Yo, this ain't right, man. Yo, black people could never get a chance because you call yourself black. You place yourself in the polarity of being bamboozled, slaughtered, slutted out, violated on any level possible when you place yourself in the polarity of black. You know what I mean? Because black and white is like positive and negative. It's polarities, man. Y'all can't see this, man. They veil these vibrations with names and characteristics or presentations or attires. They veil it with that. Go past the Jesus Christ. Go past the devil. Go past the black man and the black woman. And you see that they all being manipulated by positive and negative energy, ultimately. All being manipulated by the ego to a degree where they can't even get out. They've been in the sunken place before get out. You know what I mean? They've been in a sunken place. They've been in a place where their vibrations is always vibrating on emotions, the ego. You say something that they don't like, they get mad. You say something they like, they get happy. Look how easy it is to manipulate these people's lives. You mean to tell me that I can literally manipulate you just by saying one thing? You know how weak a person has to be, son? For them to say something to you and you're whack, or for them to say something to you and you get all happy? Man, your force field is weak as hell. That's all it takes is a word? Does the damn beast really need to be in the damn lab making all these damn viruses and all these diseases if all it takes is a freaking word? They might be wasting trillions of dollars doing all that, but then again, they doing that to build their more advanced body. You know, and they just release those diseases in the wild to see who got the damn defense mechanism to fight it off, so they could get their blood and start using that blood and incorporate it in their building of the damn biology. That's why they doing that. You know what I mean?
On se vous parle. On se. Comme là, là, ma continue comme là, ça. On parle à quand on trouve un job. Parce que on trouve un job. Et des matins, des matins, c'est bête.
True that. Shut this live down.
Des bagages à quoi qui est arrivé, mais sans lui, papa, papa, malgré les gambages. Mon côté ma travail là, il faut boire 2 fois. Chaque fois boire 2 fois. Les chaque fois boire des à part de parler. Mon yo gâteau jeune bail longtemps quand mon so jeune bail ça. Avant Thanksgiving, nous boire pour aller. On semaine, 2 semaines avant. Non, mais il semble que tu as fait bail une boîte qui va aller après. Il semble que le bâtiment était boîte qui va aller. Il va jamais faire. C'est qu'elle peut boîte là, le bail. Non, ça fait pas content. C'est pas content. Parce que tu dis moi boîte. Tu dis moi bail arrivé. Bail arrivé les petits ça fait pas non. Des canards, 15, 16. Depuis les rôles, c'est pour les dimanches certifiés. Les dimanches certifiés. Dans les dimanches, la parole de parler. de dans cette on a commencé tout à faire mandat moi. Yo. Depuis mon approche pour trois fois plus dans la on fait ça.
The stream stop.
Et tout petit vent nous pas gain vent non pays calme conseil pendant fête là depuis après fête coton qui sont pas loin. Qui sont pas loin.
You know it's all about raising the vibe. Raise the vibe. Straight
Ouais, mon
shade.
te fait grimace, c'est pas
Straight
faire.
avocados.
Ou faire grimace? Oui, sous faire grimace, nous n'avons pas. Ou faire grimace, oui, allez pas sauter faire.
Raise the vibe beyond polarities, man.
Il y a du bon commerçant là.
Raise the vibe, come about the vibe. You're supposed to be moving through the positive and negative. And then
Année à yo va faire. Il devrait yo faire bon bah yo va faire. Bah il t'a pour yo t'a pas fait.
turn.
Vai ser qualquer coisa, mas ciclão, aquela frescura. Aquela frescura. Eu fiquei não tem mais de ver frescura. Como vai frescura? Só vamos na mão do feito para vão befa. Como é que ele pôde fazer isso? Para fazer isso. Às vezes isso é para melhorar a sua saúde. Vou pagar para pedir uma foto do baguetão. É bom mesmo que o pessoal vai ver. É só manda no vídeo quando uma consagem como maduro quando vai começar a máquina de sangue deixou sangue e uma gente a decanha não tem duas falar na tanto eu acho que se safar vai antes de cobrar pour te faire boire. Moi, ils font tout. Charbon, chez eux. Dans les wagons, ils font tout. Tout à là, qui les font à alors, ils font tout là, de boire. Allez, on ligne. Hein? WhatsApp là, on photo sur WhatsApp. Les photos sur WhatsApp. Check it là.
But yeah, man, let me leave y'all with this. Let me get a better perception. I'll shut this live down. Nah, I mean, that's a more better perception right there. I mean, so you're seeing like this, it would be the square. Hold on, son. You're seeing like this, it'll be the square. But if you shift the dimension, see where the ground is at, and it becomes the pyramids, huh? That's what you're looking at. The oblong square. Straight check. Y'all about to shut this live down. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's all about raising the vibe, raise the vibe, raise the vibe, raise the vibe. Get out that positive and negative, man. We supposed to be using the energy. You know what I mean? The energy is here to be used, man. But the God race became a fuel source to sustain the energy. And they not even benefiting off the energy. You got those in the know, not in the belief. You got those in the know benefiting off the energy. Creating all these different consciousness. You know what I mean? 10, 15 years from now, it's going to be another religion, son. They already showed you where religion came from. You actually lived in a time frame where a religion like Scientology was not in existence before. They showed you by them creating Scientology, a religion, within your time frame, before you died, you got a chance to see a loop. You got a chance to see a freaking loop when they created Scientology, man. So the same way how they created Scientology, they showed you where Christianity, Islam came from, man. It was created. You actually saw a revelation. But I'm pretty sure a lot of these Christians out there, or these people who's down with the Muslims, would say, oh, that's a fake religion. You think your religion real? Anything that was created is fake. Facts. That is a fake religion you're in, son. That's not a real religion, son. Those are artificial legions of Ray. You know, your religion. Legions of Ray. Those people that's in religion are false legions of Ray. The real legions of Ray is the souls who ain't down with religion, who ain't fully intertwined in positive and negative polarities. Those are the real legions of Ray, son. The sun, Ray, Ra. Those are the real legions. Not these fake legions, these hybrid legions of Ray, these lunar regions, Lu legions, not no Ray legions, these Lu legions. You know what I mean? Of the moon god, up in the damn church, praying to rocks, praying to glass. You know what I mean? Praying to objects. But yeah. About to get up out of here. Y'all already know what it is. Raise the vibe, raise the vibe, raise the vibe, raise the vibe. Man, my battery at 31%. Damn, bruh. Hold on for a second, man. Got charge. We got to use some of that positive and negative energy, man. I mean, we got to charge this body up, known as the phone. We got to use that energy. But y'all, I'm out. You already know what it is.